The Bold and the Beautiful scoop for Wednesday, December 10th reveals Sheila Carter will vent to Taylor Hayes. Also coming up, the Logan and Spencer families will gather at Bill Spencer's estate for Hope Logan and Liam Spencer's nuptials. B&B spoilers tease guests will begin to arrive at the Spencer estate for what Beth Spencer will dub the wedding of the year. Upstairs in the bridal suite, Hope will prepare to remarry the love of her life. Of course, Hope will have company. Brooke Forrester, Donna Forrester, and Katie Logan will help her get ready for her big day. The Logan ladies will be all smiles as they celebrate. Downstairs, Liam's brother Will Spencer and his girlfriend, Electra Forrester, will arrive. They'll be followed shortly by Hope's brother, Deke Sharp. Hope's son, Douglas Forrester, and Liam's daughter, Kelly Spencer, will also attend. However, there will be one noticeable absence when Deacon Sharp arrives. On Tuesday, Hope's father had to break the bad news to Sheila that she wasn't on the guest list. He also said he was disappointed, but it's his daughter's wedding and it's up to her. Finally, a raging Sheila will turn to Taylor for advice. She'll tell the psychiatrist she's very upset that she wasn't invited to the wedding. After all, Hope is Deacon's daughter, and she should be on her husband's arm for the celebration. So, she'll tell Taylor she plans to crash the wedding. Taylor will say it would be a crazy thing to do. But will Sheila take her advice and stay away? Or will she go anyway? Stay tuned! Hey B&B fans! Are you enjoying the latest CBS Sudser Beyond the Gates? Then make sure you join our free Facebook group. Keep reading the Soap Scoop, your source for the latest soap opera spoilers and B&B spoilers and news. And make sure to also join our B&B Facebook group. But if you miss an episode, don't fret. You can watch The Bold and the Beautiful online at cbs.com. The Bold and the Beautiful's Liam and Hope are about to make it official this week when they wed in Brooke's living room, as they have done multiple times before. This time, their daughter will be officiating, and Hope's son will even return from Europe for the occasion. It's been a long time coming for Hope and Liam after they split in 2023. Hope needed to sow her wild oats with Thomas and then with Carter before realizing that she really just wants to be with Liam. It took Liam nearly dying for Hope to come to this conclusion, but now it is time to put their little family back together. While Hope never really resolved her relationship with Thomas, and she didn't see him the last time he was in town, he at least sent their son back to Los Angeles so he could watch Hope and Liam wed again. Deacon is there to give away the bride for a wedding that takes place in Brooke's living room. Hope even has her brother Deke in attendance for what should be the happiest day of her life. Is Hope's gown a hope for the future creation designed by her brother Deke? Or did Eric design this gown to make sure he felt wanted and needed? Hope and Liam have been through a lot to get to this moment after her relationship with Thomas went bust. Hope has never gotten married with both of her parents by her side before, so this is a big change. Brooke, Donna, and Katie are all there for Hope when she marries Liam again. They have seen Hope get married multiple times. Hope even has her son there when she marries Liam, as Douglas makes his way back from Paris. The Sharp side of the family is representing at Hope's latest marriage to Liam. Will this one last? Eric's sudden retirement could expose the cracks in his marriage to Donna. Eric has been forced into retirement on The Bold and the Beautiful. Understandably, he's not happy about it since it was sprung upon him. He has also been unhappy with the way Donna has handled this issue, which could lead to marital problems. On Monday, December 8th, Eric was forced into retirement. He agreed to leave Forrester Creations after Ridge made a passionate plea for him to step down. Ridge urged his father not to end up in the hospital again. Eric had no other choice but to forfeit his fashion legacy. After their painful conversation, he returned to the showroom to say goodbye. He turned off the lights and sat alone in the dark while his wife waited for him in the car. Eric has been on edge lately, especially with everyone concerned about his health. One of those people is his wife, Donna, who previously told Brooke that she's still worried about him, even though he's doing better. Eric doesn't like it when his wife acts like this. He told her not to pity him, as Ridge and Brooke do. He also didn't want her to side with them on this situation. The Forrester patriarch hoped that Donna would fight for him. She ended up doing just that when Ridge forced him out of the company. She told Ridge that her husband still had plenty of passion and inspiration left. However, Donna then agreed with Ridge about traveling to the Greek islands with her husband. She has been begging Eric to whisk her away. Yet, he wants to spend his hours at the design office. Eric's forced retirement could expose the cracks in his marriage. The last thing he wants is for his wife to feel bad for him like everybody else does. She'll end up doing that once he sits around their mansion. Donna has been by his side up to this point, but there's nothing she would love more than to take a long romantic vacation with him. Did the couple even go away on a honeymoon? Unfortunately, that's not what Eric wants. He wanted to return to the design team and put out another couture line. He's feeling inspired, and it's all going to waste. Eric will just have more work on his mind. He could spend most of his nights designing, which could annoy Donna. The constant togetherness could drive a wedge between these two. Lawrence St. Victor shared some inspiring words from Carla Mosley that motivated him. The bold and the beautiful star Lawrence St. Victor loves offering up wisdom on social media. This time, he was inspired by Beyond the Gate star Carla Mosley. These words will motivate you, regardless of the day of the week. On Monday, December 8th, Lawrence St. Victor admitted that he felt inspired by Carla Mosley. She offered up some wisdom on Instagram that made for the perfect Monday motivation post. St. Victor did a walk and talk with his fans on Instagram outside the CBS studios. "What's going on, guys? I hope you had a wonderful week," he said. The actor wasn't there to film, he was only there for a fitting. He came across a social media post by Mosley, who shared her Monday motivation. She went to a kickboxing class that felt like it would break her, but she went anyway. That inspired him to share something similar. Step outside your comfort zone. Do the thing you would say you're to this, or to that, or to that, St. Victor said. Forget the limits we put on ourselves. They don't exist. Do the hard thing. She motivated me today. St. Victor encouraged fans to do that one thing they said they would do, but stopped doing it because it seemed hard. In his caption, he wrote, "Today I was inspired by Carla Mosley Mantint, Monday motivation post, reminder that growth lives on the other side of discomfort." He continued, "Doing the hard thing isn't about proving anything to anyone. It's about discovering how limitless you actually are. We're so much stronger than we think, but we only learn that when we step out of our comfort zones, stretch a little past what feels easy, and choose courage over convenience." In the rest of his caption, the B&B star reminded fans to tackle that hard thing and to take deep breaths. And then, do it again. He hoped his words of encouragement would motivate others, just as Mosley's social media post had motivated him. Mosley responded into the comments with a resounding "Yes!" Sean Kanan, who plays Deacon Sharp, wrote, "Joseph Conrad said, 'The cave you fear to enter holds the treasure you seek.'" Other fans admitted they felt inspired by St. Victor's weekly posts. Meanwhile, others shared how they stepped out of their comfort zone and pursued what they wanted. On the Tuesday, December 9th, 2025, episode of The Bold and the Beautiful, Eric pondered his future, Ridge questioned his decisions, and Sheila reacted to being banned from Hope and Liam's wedding. Brooke didn't want to bother Hope and Liam with any of the finishing touches for the wedding. She noticed Ridge's mood was off, and he wished his father felt celebrated. He knew it wasn't easy to send him off into the sunset, but he didn't anticipate that reaction. Ridge wanted his father out of the weeds, and he was shocked Eric was this upset when he previously put out his final collection. Brooke asked Ridge if he regretted springing the retirement on Eric. It wasn't an easy question for Ridge to answer. Eric was the measuring stick of what it took to succeed in the fashion business. He wondered if perhaps the decision to walk away should have been left entirely in the hands of the man who founded the company. Ridge couldn't shake the past. He couldn't overlook the potential health risks of his father diving back into the daily grind. Ridge knew that Eric would never step away without being pushed in the direction. He understood that he would react the same way his father did, and he wished that someone would do the same for him. Eric was the type to keep going and going until he was dead and buried, and that isn't the final years that Ridge wanted for his dad. Brooke wished Eric had taken the retirement better than he had. She knew how much her husband loved his father, and she reiterated that he wouldn't be locked out. It was Ridge's turn to make a mark, by himself as the leader of Forrester Couture. He appreciated her kind words, but the image of Eric leaving with his stepladder in hand, his head hung low, was ingrained in his mind. At the Forrester mansion, Donna and Eric looked over some of the newspaper articles about his sudden retirement. Donna thought it was wrong of Ridge to announce his retirement publicly. However, Eric took a step back and wondered if his time in the spotlight was up. He had been completely thrown by the forced retirement that members of his family had thrust upon him. Eric had regretted some of the things he said to his father, but he couldn't rewind time. Donna reminded Eric that he was just as talented as ever, and she wished he would show the sketches to Ridge. Eric laid out his case, and Ridge didn't listen. He didn't feel as if his son wanted to work with him. Donna tried to get Eric to see the positives of retirement, and she hoped it would give them more time together. Eric recounted the accolades and awards he received over the years. Despite this, Donna was the only person he was concerned about. She urged him to look at how this could be a good thing. There was more time for travel and relaxation, which made him question whether Ridge did things for the right reasons. Eric asked Donna if she was thrilled for Hope and Liam. He was excited as well, and the best part of everything was Beth performing the ceremony. Eric revealed he wasn't attending the wedding and needed some space. He didn't want his appearance to take away from their day because of the significant press coverage surrounding his retirement. Hope and Liam discussed Eric's retirement, and he considered it a major change for the company. Hope called Eric a legend and said it was time for the new guard to take over. Beth remained tight-lipped about the details of the wedding, so neither of them had a clue what to expect. Hope knew that Brooke assisted Beth in some of the planning, so they knew it would be a memorable experience. They were pleased with their choice to allow Beth to exclude Sheila from the wedding. However, Hope didn't want this to set back her relationship with Deacon. Liam recalled how Sheila nearly died trying to save Steffi. Hope understood, but she wasn't willing to put her daughter in an uncomfortable position to make Sheila feel better. Beth was ecstatic about marrying her parents, but she refused to let them in on any of the plans. They reassured Beth that even if they never got back together, they would always be a family. Love makes a family, and they always had an abundance of that. The wedding just cemented what was always there. Deacon and Sheila reflected on Eric's retirement, and she found the news to be somewhat sad. She tried to pick out a dress for Hope and Liam's wedding, and she wanted to color coordinate with her husband. She was elated to be included in the family festivities, and she couldn't wait to arrive at the ceremony on his arm. Sheila couldn't wait to see Deacon walk his daughter down the aisle. After months of turmoil, this was their chance to showcase their rekindled flame to all of their naysayers. Deacon reminded her that it was Hope and Liam's event, so the guest list was quite intimate. Unfortunately for Sheila, Deacon had kept a sizable secret from her. She wasn't welcome at Hope and Liam's wedding. She accused him of misunderstanding. He hoped things had calmed down about the fallout from Luna. She believed Bill was invited, even though he made far greater mistakes when it came to the recently deceased killer. Deacon apologized for his wife's exclusion from the ceremony. He reiterated to her that the decision came directly from the bride and groom and from their young daughter. She asked him, "Did you explain to her how important this was? I mean, for people to see us together, that we are back together and stronger than ever?" Sheila wanted people to see them as more than coworkers. She wanted a flashing neon sign to cement their relationship in his child's eyes. Deacon understood that she was disappointed. Still, he needed to abide by Hope's wishes. Douglas Forrester will return for Hope and Liam's wedding. The last time viewers saw him on the soap, he left Los Angeles with Thomas and Paris. The Bold and the Beautiful will be celebrating Hope and Liam's wedding this week, while Douglas is finally returning to Los Angeles after a 2-year absence. It's been a while since viewers have seen him on the show. So, what happened to Douglas while he's been away? Hope's relationship with Douglas was far from perfect. In 2023, she ended her marriage to Liam after he caught her kissing Thomas in Rome, Italy. Soon thereafter, Hope and Thomas got involved in a passionate love affair, but that's all that it was for her. Hope rejected Thomas's numerous proposals after realizing she couldn't commit to him. Douglas assumed he would finally get to see his father marry his adoptive mother, but she disappointed him. Douglas told Hope that his real mom would always be his late mother, Caroline. He removed Hope from the role of Mom, a title he had used over the years. Douglas left LA to live with his dad in Paris. The father-son duo came back with big news that Thomas was marrying Paris Buckingham. Douglas referred to her as his mom, which shocked Hope. But it wasn't malicious. He was just excited to have a family. However, it all came crashing down when Paris' mother, Dr. Sir Grace Buckingham, tried to extort $1 million from Liam and his father, Bill. Grace falsely diagnosed Liam with brain cancer. She made him think he was dying, so he would be desperate enough to undergo a medical treatment with a high price tag. Grace did it to settle a debt from bookies who were harassing her and her daughters. This troubling situation led to the breakup of Thomas and Paris. Meanwhile, it brought Hope and Liam back together. Thomas briefly returned to LA to ensure that his father would marry his mother, Taylor. At the time, he told Ridge that Douglas was having a good time in the south of France with his friends. He's been doing well despite the emotional upheaval from his father's relationships. While Thomas's love life fell apart, that wasn't the case for Hope. Her heart has been all over the place lately, but she's finally settling down again with Liam. The two realized they still love one another and want to keep their family together. Sheila is MIA from Hope and Liam's wedding. Hope and Liam's wedding is officially underway on the Bold and the Beautiful. While it's supposed to be a happy occasion, it has Sheila upset. Sheila's absence from the wedding is a hot topic with fans, who are showing their support for Mrs. Sharp. Hope and Liam's wedding is a big day not only for them, but for Beth. To make their wedding special, the couple agreed to let Beth plan it. However, one of Beth's decisions might have ignited family drama. Beth said she didn't want Sheila at the wedding because she was uncomfortable around her. With Lope honoring their daughter's wishes, Deacon was forced to tell his wife she wasn't invited. So, while Deacon is celebrating Lope's big day, Sheila is alone and angry over the snub. But she's not the only one who's upset. On Reddit, B&B fans believed that Hope's stepmother should be at the ceremony. I'm sorry, but when did Beth interact with Sheila to be uncomfortable by her? It would make more sense if Hope said it's my wedding and I choose who's there instead of blaming it on their kid, wrote one viewer. One fan thinks Deacon should be more supportive of his wife in the matter. I don't think Deacon should attend the wedding since Sheila isn't invited. Stand by your wife, Deacon. However, one commenter pointed out Sheila wasn't the only snub. Beth not inviting Steffi, Finn, Taylor, and Ridge. B&B has been hinting that Sheila might turn to the dark side for a while. Her marriage to Deacon is on the rocks, and the wedding snub will cause more issues for the couple. Sheila wants to be accepted by Deacon's family, and the snub hurt her more than anything. Although Deacon understands Sheila's upset, the day was about Hope and Liam, not her. Deacon's lack of support in the matter will further strain the couple's marriage and send him towards Taylor's direction. While Deacon has declared he's committed to Sheila, he's growing closer to Taylor. It's only a matter of time before Deacon makes his move, and when he does, it could signal the complete return of Sheila's dark side. So the big question is, who will Sheila go after? Will it be Deacon and Taylor, or will she direct her anger to someone else, maybe Lope and Beth? Viewers noticed that Ridge wants power and prestige outside of his father's shadow. Eric Forrester retired from Forrester Creations on The Bold and the Beautiful. It was a painful decision for the patriarch who founded the fashion company. During Tuesday's episode, viewers realized the stunning reason why Eric was forced to step down. Eric had no intentions of retiring. He wanted to get back to designing. However, Ridge had different plans for him. He encouraged his father to retire due to his health concerns. Eric nearly lost his life 2 years ago. Ridge didn't want that to happen again. So, he threw a retirement party for his father, without his knowledge or consent. His father argued that he wasn't leaving and had plenty to contribute to Forrester Creations. Then, on Monday's episode, Eric shocked viewers by agreeing to retire. Ridge claimed that he was concerned about his father's health, but was he really? Over on Reddit, viewers watched Tuesday's episode. They noticed the reason behind Eric's forced retirement. Ridge wants the attention and fame for himself. One viewer wrote, And there you have it. With Eric retired, Ridge can make a singular mark in Forrester couture, which is all he wanted all along, the power and prestige without Daddy looking over his shoulder. At the office, Ridge told Brooke that he could finally make his break in the fashion industry. He wanted to have some of the fame and prestige that his father had acquired during his fashion career. This power grab suggests that Ridge wants to step out from his father's shadow. However, he claimed that he would hope his sons would do the same for him once he gets older. Meanwhile, viewers see a nefarious reason behind Ridge's decision. In the meantime, Eric wants to keep his latest designs a secret from everyone. Donna encouraged him to share them with his family, but he just wanted to move on with his life. Steffi was the only one who came across his stunning designs. She told Finn that she was shocked to learn that he was still designing. Yet, Finn believed that Eric should spend his time resting at home,